the evolutionary history of eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells emerged around 1.6 to 2.2 billion years ago. Life just spontaneously happened around 3.8 billion years ago. To understand how eukaryotic cells evolved from prokaryotic cells, we really need to focus on the fact that eukaryotic cells are multicellular, meaning that they coexist with other organisms. Fun fact, the nucleus, chloroplast, and mitochondria are all organisms that have a mutualistic relationship with the eukaryotic cell itself. Wow, look over there. It's an archaea cell. It's just swimming in expansive darkness, all alone. Poor thing. I feel pity for it. Not actually, because it's just a cell, but... Oh, whoa! What is that? It's an aerobic bacteria cell. Gee, I really wonder what's going to happen next. Is the lonely archaea cell going to eat the bacterial cell? That's what a normal person would guess, but Mother Nature had another random and freakish idea. The archaea cell engulfs the bacteria cell, and now they're in a relationship! Yay! A mutualistic relationship? How romantic! The bacterial cell now provides oxygen for the host archaea cell. The archaea cell provides protection for the bacterial cell. Yay! We got our first ancient eukaryotic cell. Wait, that's not right. Oh, it's just the mitochondria. Yep. It's a prototype of the modern mitochondria, but it's still a mitochondria regardless. Don't judge it. The next type of organelle that was added to the eukaryotic cell through evolution is the chloroplasts. A group of algae, specifically the green variant, that's really important, you gotta know the green variant, engulfs the cyanobacterium, which is another bacteria, leading to the origin of chloroplasts. With the introduction of chloroplasts into our eukaryotic concoction, we now have an even better eukaryotic cell. How do you know I'm not lying to you right now? Because I got evidence. Mitochondria and chloroplasts are around the same size as prokaryotic cells, but they are located in much larger eukaryotic cells. These two organelles also have their own DNA. In contrast to eukaryotic cell reproduction, which is mitosis, which is the process where a single parent cell divides into two genetically identical daughter cells, the mitochondria and chloroplasts reproduce through binary fission, which is the process where a single-cell organism divides into two genetically identical daughter cells. It's kind of the same thing, but it's not. Mitosis is a lot more complicated than binary fission. Shown in this chart, mitosis kind of has all the DNA stuff, but like binary fission is just kind of like taking a chunk and then just kind of it, you know? This means that if you were to snatch the mitochondria and chloroplast from a cell, the cell wouldn't be able to reproduce them on its own. So now that we went over the chloroplast and mitochondria and know that they were not originally in the eukaryotic cell, it's time to discuss the nucleus, because it was also not originally part of the iconic eukaryotic cell we know today. The nucleus was most likely just a big old pile of genetic information floating in the dark, vast space, all alone. Poor guy. Wow, look, just like before, another cell is floating right towards it. It's the eukaryotic cell. Who would have guessed? But it doesn't have a nucleus. Whoa. Okay, so now how did the nucleus actually get in here? Well, some scientists speculate that the nucleus got into the cell through a process called invagitation. This means that the cell membranes of the outer membrane of the cell fold inward to make a big old pocket thing. This most likely captured the genetic information that was floating in the big old space of nothingness and was trapped inside the cell. Through some evidence that suggests that I'm not lying again is that the nucleus has a double membrane surrounding it. This could only happen if the cell membrane folded on itself. You might be wondering right now, how am I supposed to remember this? Well, first, you can remember that the nucleus, the mitochondria, and the chloroplast were all evolutionized into the eukaryotic cell. You should also know that the archaea cell plus a bacteria cell equals the mitochondria, and an algae cell plus another bacterial cell equals the chloroplasts. and that the nucleus was formed through a process called vegetation, where the cell walls fold in on itself to make a big old pocket, and that captured genetic information. As stated before, the reason why we know this is because the mitochondria and chloroplasts are around the same size as prokaryotic cells. They carry their own genetic information, and they reproduce differently than the eukaryotic cell itself. The nucleus in the cell has a double membrane, which means that the membrane had to have folded in on itself in order for that to happen.